Trevor Belmont asked me, how do you know my family? And then I said, everyone knows your family, you're famous vampire slayers, right sir? And then Trevor Belmont said, yes we were. And then he said, well I guess I'll see you later, Marcus Tepish. And then I asked, so you know me? And then Trevor Belmont said, yes I know who you are. And then he walked away and scoffed dismissively. And then Trevor Belmont said, I'm not a vampire hunter anymore, I've given that up, and all I want to do now is to go back home. And then I told him about a nearby town that he needs to visit really soon because they will all need his help. And then that angered my father and Carmilla, and I even told him about the legend of my brother in that town where my father unleashed the wrath of his forge masters, where my father killed all the people responsible for nearly burning my mother, Lisa Tepish, alive, and me and my brother never agreed to enslaving the entire human race. I simply allowed it and went along with it, and my brother, he was against the idea from the start, and so was my mother. And despite the fact that my mother is now a true immortal human that can fly very fast even in outer space and even breathe in outer space, my father still never turned her into a vampire. And after I told Trevor Belmont about that town being in trouble, I watched him walk in that direction and I smiled warmly and I said, good luck my friend. And then my father, Dracula Tepish, said, I can't believe you told that vampire slayer where to find your brother Alucard. And then I said, relax father, my brother Alucard can't kill us, and you know that, and besides I never agreed to enslaving the human race, I simply went along with it, and you know it. It was wrong. And then my father Dracula Tepish said, it was also wrong for what the humans tried to do to your mother, or have you forgotten about that boy? And then I said, no father, I haven't forgotten. And then my father Dracula Tepish said, yes, well you also know that they can't be trusted anymore. And then I said, not all humans are the same father, many humans are innocent, and we vampires terrified them all into doing what we wanted, and eventually they will bite our hands or they will attack us all when our backs are turned. And then I said, if I wanted to right now I could snap my fingers and erase all of humanity from existence, but then we would all be alone. And do you want to hear something interesting? I've met humans that were really bad, and I've also met really good people. And once upon a time I was walking along the road, and it was there that I met people from the so-called church that condemned my mother to death for witchcraft, and they were beating on slaves, and I helped those slaves by killing the people that were beating on them. So before those religious zealots could kill a mother and child, I stepped in to save them by killing the people that were going to kill them for no reason other than false accusations and little proof to go on. And then the slaves helped me out by giving me food and allowing me a place to sleep and rest, and they didn't do anything bad to me. Even though they knew that I was a vampire, they were kind to me. I seriously think we don't have anything to be afraid of, father. I mean, it's not like they have a plan. Most of them are just trying to make their best way out of a bad situation, and we don't even need those forge masters, father. When we alone were enough to terrify the humans, I just think we were a bit excessive, that's all, and there was no need for all of us to do everything we did. I mean, think about it, the vampires didn't lose much of anything, but the humans did. They lost everything, even their freedom, while the vampires gained everything. Humanity lost it all. But despite all that, there's still good people that still believe that not all vampires are evil, and I have to tell you that's absolutely wonderful if you stop to think about it, because all humans should hate us, but there are those that don't, and I find that fascinating, as anyone should really. I'm trying to say that maybe we shouldn't have assumed that all humans are the same and caused them all more suffering than they already endured in everyday life. I mean, think about it, things are already hard enough for the humans, but things are easier for us because of what we are. I mean, we don't even have to hunt our own food or grow crops. Humans have to do all that and then some. It's a miserable existence, especially nowadays, and even after all that misery, there's still good humans that believe vampires aren't all bad. I'm saying that some of us misjudged the humans a bit, right, father? And then Dracula sighed and said, I think your sentimental behavior is going to get you killed one day, son. And then I said, well, see, they can't kill me, and even if they could kill me, that would end this entire universe, because I'm a vital part of this universe, meaning that if I'm destroyed, everything else goes with me, because I'm the tether holding everything together in our universe.